When my recent Watch Dogs Legion preview session began, I had one goal I hoped to achieve: find and recruit a grandma to my stable of DedSec agents. That's the whole thrill of the massive new system, right? You have the whole of London in front of you, and the ability to bring anyone and everyone into your squad. During my 4 hours of playtime, Watch Dogs Legion revealed itself as a game that sticks very close to what fans know about the series, while also providing hints of potential for something much more. From a gameplay perspective, Watch Dogs Legion controls very similarly to its predecessors. If, like me, you spent countless hours exploring San Francisco in Watch Dogs 2, Legion will slip on like an old glove. Pretty much immediately, I was right back in the loop of scouting an area by hacking cameras, thinning out the enemy herd by setting off electrical devices, and then walking through to mop up with my top-tier stealth skills. And, when stealth goes out the window, the freeform nature of the combat lets you do things like dive on enemies off a balcony in a fit of panic, or wildly fire your gun at a drone, cursing yourself for not noticing it earlier. Not that I, a calm, cold criminal, would ever stoop to such lows, but for you regular people, it's there. So, in a lot of ways, my first impression was that Legion stuck too close to past games. In the first hour or so, it was hard to say exactly what would make this game stand out besides the setting. As I continued, however, I slowly began to realize how many strategic options are opened up through the new recruitment mechanic. Just as Ubisoft has said in the past, anyone is recruitable. You can scan any pedestrian that crosses your path and get a quick look at what abilities they offer your cause. These skills take many forms. Some people hold specific positions and can thus more freely access areas others can't. Others might have access to new equipment that helps build out your arsenal. I ran into a shopaholic who had spent so much money at various shops that recruiting him would give me a discount. While these people are relatively easy to find in the open world, Ubisoft actually sources your map with some more high-profile recruits. So, early on I recruited a secret agent man who had access to a fancy car and a gadget that let me switch off my opponent's guns in an area. This was something that came in handy in a pinch. However, the abilities get a whole lot weirder than an MI6 agent. One high-profile target I was able to corral into the DedSec family was a beekeeper who had a gun that shot bees at his enemies. Not only is this future man bee suit totally rad, but getting to pump the bad guys full of bees was something else. It's the kind of wacky shenanigans that I love in my open world games. While my time with Watch Dogs Legion was a relatively small sample, it appears that you'll be able to get up to all kinds of wacky hijinks. One of my personal favorite moves was using the cargo drones to fly my DedSec person around London. As ever, you can hack just about anything, including these massive drones that have seemingly replaced your local UPS trucks. Using them to fly above a battle area and find a good vantage point was always a bit of silly fun. I do have a few questions that I can't wait to have answered when Watch Dogs Legion eventually ships. The most pressing is the story. The demo gave me a better idea of why everyone in London is so willing to join DedSec, but it still seems a little weird that basically doing someone's chores will convince them to join my cyber group that's fighting against the government. My other big question is, where is that dang grandma? I looked all over for that surely lovable lady, hoping she'd have the special skill to like bake cookies to distract enemies, or maybe knit them a sweater to turn them to her side, but alas, I couldn't find her. I know she's out there because one of our other writers found her in his preview. One day, I'll find that grandma and she'll be my best friend. At the end of the day, this preview has me very excited to play Watch Dogs Legion when it launches. The gameplay is going to be very familiar to anyone who's played the other Watch Dogs games. However, the recruiting system adds a new layer of strategic depth that I want to check out further when I'm playing under less of a time crunch. Careful planning of how and with whom you approach each combat area doesn't seem required, but doing so should make the game even more enjoyable. Watch out for my legions of grannies later this year.